Welcome back to the channel. Across the vast savanna, a single lapse is enough for a hunt to begin. The lions do not rush forward. They lower their bodies, use the terrain, and wait for the precise moment. The distance closes step by step, almost without warning. And when the burst of speed is released, every calculation converges within a few decisive seconds. In the open clearing, the stillness shatters as a pack of wild dogs rushes in. The lioness does not retreat, while the cub instinctively searches for cover. The circle tightens within moments. Yet every advance meets firm resistance. In that instant, the instinct to protect rises above fear, the very foundation of survival for every species. Hearing calls echo near the edge of the territory, the male lion approaches with familiar calm rather than haste. He understands that when adult wild dogs are absent, a protective gap appears. His presence alone creates pressure that shifts the balance. Sometimes, control of the future begins with reducing competition early. At the water's edge, a lone lioness steps into a ring of wild dogs. Instead of charging blindly, she lowers her body, turns to shield vulnerable areas, and holds her position near the shoreline. Her steadiness slows the tightening formation. Under the weight of numbers, composure becomes the strongest armor. Surrounded by overwhelming numbers, any path of escape quickly disappears. Despite displaying submission, the leopard cannot reverse the situation. Relentless pressure closes in with each passing second. In the wild, isolation often marks the end of advantage. The riverbank becomes the focal point of a prolonged standoff. The crocodile remains steady, jaws angled toward any approaching pressure. When the moment opens, it slides back into the water and breaks the encirclement. Knowing when to disengage is often the strongest key to survival. The wildebeest appears to collapse within the tightening circle. But at the very moment the pressure eases, it rises with one final surge of strength. The sudden counteraction unsettles the formation. A single decisive beat opens a path to escape from what seemed like a closed outcome. As physical strength declines, the lion no longer holds the same commanding presence. The herd of wild buffalo senses the shift and presses forward with forceful counter-moves. Sustained pressure pushes the predator to withdraw rather than confront head-on. On the savanna, even a subtle sign of weakness can quickly alter position within the food chain. Three male lions swim across the water in heightened tension. An unexpected encounter triggers a powerful territorial response from the hippo. A single close advance is enough to force the river crossers to change direction. Within another's territory, caution outweighs confidence. The oryx stands firm, using its long horns as a defensive boundary. The first wave of attack is pushed back, creating a fragile sense of hope. But the lions adjust their strategy and tighten the circle once more. In a prolonged hunt, collective persistence often shapes the final outcome. Numbers move in, yet the rhinoceros does not retreat. Its horn remains pointed toward the threat, turning every step forward into a calculated risk. There is no decisive charge, only prolonged assessment. The lions understand that one mistimed move could bring irreversible consequences. Some opponents make restraint the most vital choice. The first lunge at the zebra does not succeed, even leaving the lion with a sign of strain in its leg. Instead of stopping, it adjusts its focus and timing. The second attempt unfolds faster and more decisively, redirecting toward a wildebeest. In the wild, the ability to adapt after a setback determines the next opportunity. A failed hunt can leave lasting consequences. The lion slows, and around him, watchful eyes begin to gather. As physical condition declines, position within the competitive order shifts as well. The wild does not tolerate prolonged weakness. The male lion boldly charges at a young buffalo in full view of the herd. Within seconds, the adults pivot and form a wall of horns under mounting pressure. The advantage reverses instantly, forcing the attacker to withdraw. Collective defense is a strength that cannot be underestimated. The wildebeest does not turn away to flee, but chooses to face the threat. Yet a slower than usual reaction causes the safe distance to vanish quickly. A single sign of weakness is enough to shift the entire balance. Condition and timing always move together with survival chances. Within a tightening circle, the wildebeest suddenly commits all its strength to one decisive leap. Space opens in an instant, disrupting the lion's coordinated rhythm. Despite their numbers, they cannot adjust their pursuit in time. Sometimes, a perfectly timed burst of speed can transform the entire situation. From a resting state, two male lions swiftly shift into ambush mode upon spotting a nearby herd of buffalo. An initial surge seems to lock onto a target, but within seconds, the herd turns together, forming a dense defensive front. Momentum changes direction, compelling the attackers to leave the zone of risk. The attack begins as the zebra stands alone in the open field. Yet the defensive reflex comes faster than expected. A precise backward kick disrupts the entire approach. Safe distance is created in an instant. Not every ambush ends as intended. The lioness chooses her moment, closing in on the oryx with a short burst of speed. However, the long horns, sharp like twin spears, continuously maintain a dangerous boundary. Each advance carries unpredictable risk. When the cost outweighs the benefit, the hunt must come to an end. Hidden within tall grass, the lioness remains completely still before surging forward in a swift, close approach. The target is separated from the group within seconds. No coordinated response has time to form, and the balance quickly tips to one side. On the savanna, speed and timing always move together. The hunt begins with a bold advance, but quickly turns into a question of risk. The giraffe does not need to accelerate, only to maintain distance with powerful kicks weighing hundreds of pounds, like a heavy warning. Every step forward by the lion demands careful calculation of the possible cost. When coordination falters, numerical advantage loses its effect. On the savanna, long legs can become the strongest line of defense. The wild dog lies still under pressure that seems nearly sealed. The tension eases for a split second. That moment is enough for it to spring up and dash away. Sometimes survival comes not from strength, but from unexpected strategy. An opening appears when the adult wild dogs leave to forage. The lioness moves in quietly, relying on timing rather than force. By the time the mother returns, the routine has already been disrupted beyond reversal. A single lapse in awareness can shift the entire outcome. The lion's presence near the den entrance triggers immediate barking and a defensive formation from the wild dogs. They attempt to push the intruder away from the area where the young are sheltered.
Oh my God.
The lion does not escalate, maintaining a steady pace and simply passing through. Not every encounter leads to confrontation. Harassment near the territory prompts a swift and decisive response from the male lion. One wild dog is separated from the formation in a split second. The remaining members move forward, then quickly reassess the risk. Facing superior size and strength, they are compelled to maintain a safe distance. The calf immediately draws the attention of both sides. The lion attempts to create separation, forcing the mother buffalo to choose between advancing or shielding her young. A diversion tactic opens a very brief window of opportunity. But once the threat becomes clear, a collective response rises at once. In this situation, unity proves stronger than individual strategy. In shallow water, the familiar order shifts. The crocodile no longer has the space to control the situation. The lions use their numbers to maintain steady pressure. Each defensive movement further narrows the available options. Here, the environment determines the roles. The initial advantage belongs to the one concealed within the brush. The mother buffalo resists while being pushed back, each step nearing a dangerous boundary. Tension builds until the ground begins to tremble. The herd arrives, breaking the encirclement in an instant. Survival sometimes depends not on individual strength, but on not standing alone. Golden fur blends into the dry grass, allowing the lioness to wait with patience. But when she surges forward, the wildebeest responds with a forceful pivot. Its horns and enduring stamina compel the predator to reconsider the cost. Not every ambush concludes as planned. In nature, success does not come from strength alone, but from patience and precise timing. Every hunt becomes a test of instinct and strategy. Thank you for staying through to the end of today's video. If viewers would like to continue exploring the dramatic moments of survival on the savanna, they can subscribe to the channel and join future journeys ahead.